Welcome to Rhyme and Logics with your host,
Matthew, you don't know, so we're there in the cut.
And his guest, Samantha Walker, author and behavior specialist. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man, this week is a very interesting week. We have to go chop it up because it's been a while off the scene, but we return now, you see me? And I have a special guest tonight, Samantha. So we're going to chop up some topic where we can have a nice dialogue and, see what we're going. So, Sammy, the topic tonight was, do you agree with the Jamaican Prime Minister that dancehall music is one of the main, or is the main contributor to crime and violence in Jamaica? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on it, to be very honest, it's not the main, but it does hold some types of benefits to the crime and violence in Jamaica.
Okay, but like, when you hear a leader of a country now, Zin, come out publicly and I say such a blatant, direct shot to the entertainer or the entertainment world that this type of music is the main contributor to crime. Like, how you think the entertainer them should take that down? Or even if they not sing crime, sing no music with crime or displaying of them lyrics or them artwork, do you think that we even benefit like the statistics with the murder rate in the country?
Well, typically, I go with the sayings, take sense out of nonsense. So even though he did shoot the dancehall community saying that the music is the main thing that brings down the culture, I don't think that's right. However, we know that music is influential.
Say no.
So for example, when you look at rock and roll, I'm not, whoever is out there that's a rock and roll fan, it's fine and there's no judgment. But we know that certain lyrics, certain ways that people say things in songs really have an influence on them to do something positive, negative, or they may be getting deeper in their depression. And that would, so it's a motivation, right? So
that's where me I agree with you to an extent. Me I say the music trigger an emotion, not an act, not an unwilling act. You get me I say? You get me I try to be that now.
I would say an indirect act. Because the act is indirect because you didn't realize the act was based off of the music. But the music motivated you. It's just like a quote.
Emotion.
Yeah.
It trigger emotion, it trigger action.
It's an indirect act, yes.
It trigger emotion, so it really trigger action. So that's why me I say no, and I one of the main contributor to crime and violence in Jamaica. Because if you want to ban the music, as him said, like not him in particular, but the other minister came out, I think in St. James. Him come out and say they want to ban dancehall violent music. I mean, I say, even if you ban dancehall violent music, what about Netflix?
Well, I don't think banning dancehall music will obviously fix the problem.
And I don't think it's the first step to fixing anything.
No, but I think that the message going out there will help artists to kind of navigate their music where it's more maybe conscious or something more. I'm not saying, personally, I love dancehall. Like, the culture is everything. However, it does influence the ears that is not being mindful. Because what you hear is what you feel. So what you're hearing, your heart can feel.
I'm gonna defend that.
So that means that I agree that there needs to be some type of change in direction with the music. Because unlike me, I can hear a song, like, okay, my lyrics are not all that great, but I'd be like, hey, girl, you feel shut up, get up, shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
But that won't make me get up and be like, yo, let me get my gun and shoot him. I'd be like, hey, the tune's nice.
That turn up?
But other people would be like, yeah, I like this song. Like, I shot the boy next time him chat to me, sir.
You think so?
No, I know so. Because it's just...
I don't know, sir, have you ever seen nobody commit an act after hearing such lyrics? Have you ever witnessed somebody go commit a direct action after hearing such lyrics? Okay. Say that on live right now with the people in here. Say that on the podcast. You have seen someone listen to a lyric and then got influenced by what the lyric is saying and say, yeah man, I'm going to shoot that boy next tomorrow, and then let him go do it.
Okay, so...
Have you ever seen that? Yes or no? A simple question.
No, I'm going to give you a scenario.
No, I don't depend on the semantics. Give me yes or no.
Yeah, people's head get hot.
Say, have you...
Have I seen?
Yes. Have you witnessed someone listen to music?
That's a very broad question for a yes or no answer. It can't work like that.
No, why not?
Because, for example, when you go to a dance in the city of Toronto, 9 times out of 10, Or we can even do 7 times out of 10. It's always getting shot up. The music, the vibe, they see somebody they don't like, fight broke out, gunshot a boss. Always. It's repetitive.
Alright, watch it now.
Because of
Alright, watch it now.
what they...
You see, me I gotta say, society has the biggest impact on crime and violence as it relates to Jamaica.
But who is the society?
The poor people, the culture where we live in, the poor people suffer the most, and artists is a reflection of them society.
Exactly.
So them a do them job by painting a vivid picture of what really are going on. Where them are on a day-to-day basis. So sometimes, just like how you can appreciate you can appreciate Batman, Zine, in a Gotham City. I'm just using a comparison. I'm not say if you like Batman and let's show you something. You have Batman and the Joker, them not real though. But them they don't want a real place that is called Gotham. Gotham real, in a real life though. And them do things.
I didn't know that.
Gotham is in New York. It's actually real.
I didn't know, okay.
You see me? So when you say, I know New York them there, don't quote me, but I think so. But it's a real place. So I'll show you something now. That's an artwork within itself. You see me? So the music already have artwork within itself too. So when you take something literal, if you have a ban dancehall music, you have to ban Rambo, you have to ban Shatters, you have to ban all of them bad man music, movies where we grew up on, like Shatters and Third World Cup and all of them things that we watch, kind of reflect the society where we live in.
I don't think that it should be banned because it's
me?
the culture and the art. However, I do think as the years go on,
there should be a shift.
Hold on. As the years go on, the music is getting more aggressive.
Okay.
Where it's becoming more violent. For example, back in our parents' days or our grandparents' days, the music wasn't as how it is now. That's why they cannot relate, or they feel like the music is too vulgar. Or they feel like, no, man, I like that music there. But we're like, hey, you know. But I think that, back to what I'm saying, is that some of the artists should pick sense out of nonsense. The dancehall music should never ever be banned. It's the culture. I love the music. And not just the music, but the particular music they want banned, thinking that will reduce crime and violence in the country. No, but you can't ban it. It's already out and it's already running through people's blood and veins. So my thing is this, banned. I just think that people should fix a little bit of the dialogue. Just a little bit. I think we have a good dialogue, a good balance, but what people gravitate to. I think we're misunderstanding what we gravitate to as a people. Look on Coffee, look on Chronics, look on Jesse Royal, the whole you have a complete movement in a Jamaica where it's total conscious that people does gravitate to, but not as much as to the grimy side of the music. See, there's a grime. Not really. Oh, you got this. The numbers are there. Just you have Chronics, Protege, and all of them, and people rate them just to see them sing. Smile for me, Jamaica, and all of them something. People love it. But just the same as I hear that every year, roll deep with my dogs, roll deep. You hear them tune, you say, yo, that give a different vibe. You see what I say? So like that one's not as bad. There's some, that are like, hey boy, I'm shot you in your head in front of your
sure.
Marls all over the ground.
Sure.
Why?
But
no. You're in the car with your 4-year-old.
Okay.
Again, your childhood depicts who you're gonna be.
Okay.
So if you're in the car listening to that, and listen, I love that type of music, but you're growing up thinking maybe that's the right way to move. Shut up, any boy.
Listen, me not gonna play that with my 4-year-old son. Maybe.
But that's the thing. 1 out of 3 million people.
Parental guidance is needed there.
Excuse me. You are the one person that's saying you won't. But what about the other 5 million?
But all right then. Alright, so just like you can say that. What about the movies them where we are see on Netflix then? You have to push the same energy.
No, and I agree.
You have to push the same energy. You can't tell me say just like how you say my 4-year-old son I listen to that day. All my 4-year-old son can point out Rambo. I run down with a big life. I run down a man for cut off him in a TV show.
I agree.
How is it not taking the same energy towards that? You have to put the same energy towards that.
I agree.
That's what me I say across the board. So you can't come out and a shoot shot on the...
Are you saying me?
No. Okay. The Prime Minister and the ministers who think that dancehall music is the main contributor to crime and violence. They are wrong, in my opinion.
The topic was very broad, and obviously people in higher powers should be able to get their point across and make it stick, but not so broad, because when it becomes so broad, there's controversy behind it, which is what's happening right now. But like I say, going back to my topic, pick sense out of nonsense and try to fix some of the issues. I think what he's maybe saying is that the crime levels in Jamaica are maybe at an all-time high. Or always high. They're always high. I just think that it's the culture.
Listen.
You listen. It's the culture of the community, and that's Jamaica, and we have to love our culture.
All right, watch this now.
No, there's nothing to watch.
Watch this now.
I'm still talking.
All right, go on talk. I'm gonna show you.
This is why the Prime Minister said he needs to ban the music.
Go on talk.
Maybe one of the songs you heard, the artist was telling you to ignore a woman when she's speaking.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'll something here, people. Anyways, as me I say.
As you're saying. No,
as you're saying, continue.
Okay. So as I'm saying, I think that reggae and dancehall music should not be banned ever. It's the culture, and it's the culture of Jamaica, and that's what makes and depicts Jamaica. But I feel like maybe the Prime Minister is coming to the artist like more like an older head or a dad type of thing, where they're saying like, kind of bring it down a little bit. Even though he didn't say that. But that's what I'm getting.
Him just completely blame them. But may I show you something now, how them stay.
Okay.
Them use the culture when it's beneficial to them. In election time, them get the most dub for show off. Mm-hmm. And say, them have the biggest dub them from certain various artists. Man have to call a name. Mm-hmm. And when them get the music from them play them on them campaign street while forget vote and people for vote. But as soon as them win them see it, them turn the finger and start blame. The same people when them get dub from. Brother, I mean, I like them style, them need to stop it. You want to use the culture as it benefit to you, but as soon as you can't find a solution in the government where you can find a slow leak or something to contain crime and violence in Jamaica as it relates in Jamaica, you want to blame the artists them. You and the government, not only JLP or PMP, me attack government and all, need to find good reasons or good tactics to use for control crime and violence in Jamaica and stop blame dancehall artists for the crime rate in Jamaica. It can't work. You do this for years and every time you point finger upon that side and minister where you are implement to make people feel safer at night time. You come up with curfew and the curfew mostly cater to COVID, it now cater to crime and violence because as we speaking right now, I think the crime rate for already the 400 almost gone to 500 now. What kind of style that? And the year not even half. So the artists them really do that? You see people them poor and hungry right now, bad man.
That part.
Come on, bro.
That part the artist didn't.
But I said, but him come out at this other like 2 weeks now. 2 weeks him said that. 2 weeks or 3 weeks him said that.
I'm not done.
You see me? So like,
what's happening?
What you see me?
Matthew. I don't think that like in that aspect, obviously, the pandemic is really taking a toll on people mentally, where their mental health is really affecting them. Mm-hmm. So that obviously has a big
I'm really glad I said that
on them, right? And then obviously, they're listening to the music and it's making them feel a little hype. And like a lot of people right now are suffering with a lot of different mental health issues, PTSD, multiple personalities disorder, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. So, the government should also be aware that the pandemic is taking a very serious toll on. Look at us in Canada.
We should.
A lot of people the pandemic is taking a toll.
Mental health is very important. You need to make them know how that state.
It's extremely
state of mind and
your mind is the functioning for your whole body. Your mind tells your organs what to do. So if your brain's done, then your organs will shut down.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to strengthen the mind to strengthen the body.
I agree with that.
So right now our minds are breaking down. That's why a lot of people are getting sick.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But again, my whole thing with me I really trying to say is just instead of we play this blame game, I think the artists them too for find a way where them can compromise with the government for say alright then. But we not really do too much crime and violence music, but here we go on. How about we come together and find a level playing field where we can help out, change the narrative a bit, change the see and blind, hear and deaf in the community. You see, me not say condole, quote unquote, snitching, but it's time now for a change where we need to stop turning a blind eye to certain criminal activity and certain things we are going, especially when it comes out to like the violence against women and certain things. A man might not want to say nothing because he's in fear of life or he's in fear of getting in certain trouble with certain people. He might not want to say nothing or come forward and make a policeman know certain things, and then on the other hand, you have the policeman them know, where the citizens them never feel like them even safe. We're dealing with them themselves. So like we need a balance there, where we have the JDF have respect for the people and people have respect for the JDF, and then you can find a common ground in which we can solve crime and violence beginning in the community and in the homes, and then we have a better environment as it relates to crime and violence. Instead of point finger and say, yo, Ray, we need to find a level playing field so that we can work upon this as a community.
I agree. To piggyback what you're saying, he can't just blame
you can't blame one sector, bro.
thing on one specific community. I mean, like they say, it takes a village to raise children, and it takes a village to run a country, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of parts, and maybe him as prime minister is not doing his job completely, because the people still are lacking. You know, Jamaica has always been lacking. Even right now in the pandemic, a lot of people are lacking the mental support. The hospitals are over capacity. Actually,
I want to touch upon that too.
I also have a family friend that's in the hospital. She had a stroke, and 3 days. It's been day 3, and she still hasn't seen a doctor.
Them thing they're wild. Like,
you know, for him to like really project just on the government, that's not it. Because not the government, the music industry.
The music industry.
Because that's not it. It's a whole. Everything is crushing down. So they need to come together and figure out how to make things better.
That's what me I try to say. That's just the message I try to bring forth. Like we and our whole need for the point finger thing. It don't really need it to an extent. You see me? We have to find ways where we can find common ground in dealing with situations like this.
I agree.
Me? So that we can feel more safer in our homes and in our community, and it start with we, the people. And government needs to understand, say them not work for themselves, them work for we, the people. Even though I live abroad, I still a citizen of Jamaica. I want to know that. So nobody come tell me in a comment section and say, yo, I live in Jamaica, so me can give my 2 cents. I can give my 2 cents anytime. I still have a Jamaican passport last time I checked. You hear that? You're deaf?
I think they can hear you. You don't have to ask them if you're deaf.
I have to ask them still, you see me? I have to ask them. But that's how over there, you see me? So, I mean, to conclude, you have any last thing you want to conclude upon, Samantha?
The last thing I want to conclude is I want to make sure everybody out there is doing well. It's not only about washing your hands and making sure you're staying 6 feet away or 2 feet away or wearing your mask, but also making sure that your mental health is number one. We're living in some very serious times, and we as a nation need to stick together. We also need to anchor onto the word of God and stand firm. This too will be over. It will be over. So you don't need to worry. Nothing lasts forever. So just stay positive, be blessed, stay humble, relaxed, and be safe, because COVID-19 will be over very soon.
All right, and on that, you don't know that this was a nice episode of Rhyme and Logics, and we're there again. We'll come back to you with part 2, maybe. You see me? We'll find Bigs anyway in there. You hear that? So we're out.